Good morning. Hello, this is Lamar Thomas with Georgia Alternative School Association, and we are here with the lovely, the wonderful, oh my God, Miss Dr. Evangelist Julia.Daniely. She is, right? She's been a accomplished leader, right? She's a life coach. She's an evangelist. She is the principal of Soar Academy. She's also an author. She's the director of several programs. I know she does one with alternative education and personalized learning. She's also a project director for the Department of Labor. So she's also won. I know she got so many awards. I'm not going to spend so much in the introduction naming all those awards, but one that I want to push out is the 2021 GAAE Administrator of the Year.
That's the best one.
And she is so amazing, and the school has so many things that she's done, and I'm gonna give her an opportunity to talk about some of those things she's done, and she has a unique perspective coming from a traditional school where she was successful principal, being at a turnaround school and choosing to go to the non-traditional school, and just being able to focus on a couple of those things. But after her introduction, we will do a little conversation is going to be geared around the GAEP Standard 4, which involves developing and implementing a personalized graduation plan for each student. And we will touch on GAEP Standard 8, which focuses on supporting academic success through implementation of rigorous instruction framework aligned with the Georgia Standards of Excellence. So with no further ado, I want to introduce Dr. Julia.Daniely.
Hello, Brother Lamar. To you. Hello to you. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you for considering me for this professional development spotlight that's going to advance learning, teaching and learning for alternative education. And I'm going to say that alternative schooling only in this side of the world is alternative school connected to children who get in trouble. But alternative school is so much more. But doing what I do now, it comes from a personal space. It comes from a space where I personally struggled in the area of reading and writing. I didn't get to the level of proficiency until I was at the age of 22 years old. And my daughter, one of my daughters being a teen mom, my other daughter having similar struggles in academics like I did. So I knew that something different had to happen. I knew something different had to happen in the field of education so that students would not go through what I went through, especially, and my personal children. Now, the fortunate thing, when my teen daughter got pregnant, we had the Teen Parent Center here in Bibb County. And then my personal daughter and me, it was kind of overlooked because we didn't get in trouble in school. So when we didn't get in trouble in school, then we got a lot of grades that we didn't earn, right?
Right.
So that's the why. And so when I didn't ever want to be a teacher, ever. I wanted to be the first food chain manager, female, of the Piggly Wiggly. I was good at it. And
Right.
I was rising in the ranks, and I was doing those books, and Bruno, they just had me on that trajectory. But it was not until I met an educator in the produce session. I was working with a student, a child came in for the boxcar, whatever, and they were using our weighing machine. And he could not figure out how to get the project done, or how much wood. So I began to engage him, set up a proportion, and just teaching him what he needed to do. And a professor from Georgia College saw me interacting and encouraged me to go into education. So I say all of that to say I did teach for 12 years at Miller Magnet School, mathematics. I'm good at math and science. Wasn't good at reading and writing, but I was good at math and science. Became an assistant principal, an academic coach at Miller, but became the first assistant principal of instruction at Northeast High School. Rutland High School, assistant principal of instruction. Then I became the Race to the Top coordinator for the school district. And Westside High School was my turnaround challenge. And that is where I began to really, really look at how can we create a space for all children, Started that work as an assistant principal with after school programs at Rutland. We were doing after school programs, Saturday school, attendance recovery, just doing all these different things. I even was doing virtual school with some students at that level. But when I got to Westside High School, because it was lowest 5% of the state, 46% grad rate, 67% of the ninth graders were 17, 18, and 19 years old. It was just a situation that you had to go in and handle. Whenever we're doing school improvement and out in there, you typically leaving out a group. You either leaving out the lower group or the gifted group. But I wanted to design something for all children. And so we ran 4 master schedules at Westside. We had the Twilight Academy. That was our evening school. We had the College Career Academy during the day. We had Twilight during the day. So we had so many opportunities for our children. And we start dabbling into personalized learning before it was coined. And I think I spoke at the GAAE conference, doing alternative schooling methods within a traditional setting. And so we were able to get off that low achieving list too.
Oh man, that's awesome. So with all that experience from graduating college in 1994 and running the Piggly Wigglies, all that helped nurture the vision what you have now at Soar, right? Which is what I saw was students are empowered to learn, innovate, and serve as productive and caring citizens within the chosen path of success. So that speaks volumes. So you could tell from your history and from your past and those things that you spoke about, where that vision is now created and is at the forefront in everything you do. But I know we have some new principles, and unfortunately right now we're still building a brand of non-traditional schools. So there's a big turnaround sometimes with leaders. So I want you now to speak to be able to help some of those new leaders master some of these standards, because we all do the standards, and sometimes they're not just coined properly, and documenting them. But again, we're going to focus on 4 right now, which is stated in the vision. So, like, how do you approach the development of your individual graduation plans for the students at SOAR?
One of the things is when you are dealing with students, they must have a voice, right? And we as adults must begin to listen to children and what they want to do, right? So we have 4 areas in which we work with our students, whether they want to be an entrepreneur, be employed after high school, enlist after high school, or be enrolled in a college or a tech school, right? So we have those conversations. I meet with each family, not just the students, each family, and we do that during the summer and throughout the year as our onboarding. And I asked the question, what is it you want to do after high school? Now, most times people think this is an alternative. You want to talk to me about the behavior. Why am I here? No, I don't want to talk to you about that. I want to talk to you about what do you want to do after high school, and how can I, as your leader, get you to that point? And I asked the parents, how can I support you to help your child get to that point, right? So we have those conversations. We give the students, it's a survey, but it's like an inventory type process for personalized learning. And one of the things we measure there is their learning agency. How do they learn? When do they learn? What would they like to learn? And what tools do you need to learn? That's true personalized learning. And then we focus on those executive functioning skills. Those executive functioning skills, whether you time management, being flexible, your tenacity, your perseverance, all of those things around executive functioning skills. So when we gather the information, then that information informs their graduation plan. You can't just start a graduation plan looking at the state list saying, okay, they got to get 23 credits to graduate. There's so much more to that. Here you have Central Georgia Tech, the tech schools that have the dual achievement program. They have so many opportunities. They have the career advanced diplomas now. So many different opportunities for children than we had when we were growing up. So we gather the qualitative and the quantitative data for the student. Then we are ready. Then we are ready to look at that particular plan. I have students in the building. No one is on the same plan, because the plan is designed just for them, their life, their family dynamics, whether they work or not, whether they're a teen parent or not, whether they are accelerated or not. I have students that come to me, we have them in dual enrollment, right? Online classes, because they want to go to a 4-year school. So that is how we set up our graduation plans. And you don't have a choice whether you graduate or not. You graduate.
Absolutely.
And right now, and of course, I'm the VIP Academy full-time virtual option principal as well. And so our graduation rate has stayed steady at 89%, 88%. We're projected at 93%. Now, I would celebrate that really, really well when my milestones courses, proficiency, and the reading levels of reading on and above grade level match that percentage. So we have a journey there. And I want them to know it's very important. I want my teachers to know it's very important that when we graduate students on this using this graduation plan, they need to have proficient content mastery, and they need to be reading on or above grade level. And so that's our focus this year.
Oh man, awesome. You spoke of tracking. You answered a lot of the questions that I already had, so you're already awesome. But just to clarify and give some ideas and strategies. So how do you track, because it seems like, and I'm with you because I'm in non-traditional too, so I do understand everybody is different, nobody's the same. So how do you and SOAR and VIP, how do y'all track those individual, how do y'all track the students' progress on those plans?
Okay.
Do you do
Yes.
anything like a semester, monthly? How do you track the progress of students' IGPs?
Okay, so students, we utilize the student digital portfolios. So I don't track nothing. The children track. That's their job.
Okay.
My stuff is already tracked. So that empower in our mission, that empower.
Okay.
Students are empowered. Students lead.
Gotcha.
They lead. Now I have student coaching sessions on Friday. And so in their coaching sessions, they should be tracking. They have their student digital portfolio. They are tracking their graduation plan. They're tracking their reading levels. They are tracking their progress on their coursework, right? And they should be able to demonstrate and articulate where they are at all times. Now, that's the student level, and that's weekly, and that's teacher level. My counselors, every 4.5 weeks. So every 4.5 weeks, the counselor will call the kids in to see where they are in terms of their post-secondary plan. But the power is at the student level,
Yes,
that
ma'am.
they own it,
Yes,
that
ma'am.
they own it and be able to communicate and demonstrate what it is that they are doing. And my students should be able to tell you what they want to do, what they are involved in to do it. They should be able to tell you how many credits they need, um, what percentage, whether they are graduating early, whether they are graduating on time, what time frame. So you have opportunities to graduate. Are you graduating in spring? Are you graduating in the summer? Are you graduating? Are you going to be a 5th year graduate? So they track. I
Awesome.
facilitate.
Awesome. Do you have a bunch of students jump around a little bit from them 4 E's? Because like you and me, and I think we all, especially depending on how you were raised and you didn't necessarily have all the riches of the world, we all want to be entrepreneurs, because that's what we think that we need to be. And then sometimes that changes, and does everyone start at entrepreneur level and then try to switch up and possibly enroll or enlist or be employed,
Yeah,
so how do y'all handle
most definitely.
those students that
Uh,
just kind of jump around?
Mm-hmm. Most definitely. I'm very observant in that area. So I have students that say, okay, I want to be a rapper, I want to be a clothing designer, and some of them are designing clothes, right? So that's that entrepreneurship. And we have even paid if a student has a strong business proposal plan, we have paid for their LLC to get
Oh,
them started. Um, but what I tell them though is that, and most of these are my business, that you major in business, major in finance. So you're entrepreneur, you making money now. So let's get that business degree. Let's get that knowledge in business. Let's, because they have a business pathway at Central Georgia Tech, then they can major in business. And what I tell them, that when you go into college, you're opening your business to a lot of more people, and you are majoring and you'll grow in that particular area. I've had students to enlist that want to be in the medical field. Well, you enlist, get to college, then you qualify on the ASVAB to see if you can go into a, you know, a medical field. And so they can cross over, and they do cross over. Some of my students that finish the pathway, like warehouse distribution, CNA, construction, they can go right to the workforce. And that's what you, especially in the welding, they are paying good money. Aircraft, they're paying good money, and some of them go right into the workforce. And so they do crossover. I want everybody, I believe you and I, everybody, even my teachers, I said you should have 4 streams of income. That's why I tell my kids. And so let's see how you're going to get there. Teachers, let's see how you're going to get there.
Awesome. 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 I know sometimes in these discussions, I know you're like me, they have so many opportunities, the possibilities, there's so much for them. And then, you get to explaining and you looking, you saying, dog, I took the wrong path. You making how much? So you got an opportunity to be making this much money at your age, and like, you making more than me, if you take advantage of it. But speaking on that, what would you say are some or one of the biggest challenges you have when trying to create and track these graduation plans?
The biggest, well, one of the things is my motto is make it happen. Right. That's for one. A perceived challenge would be what you hear all the time, parents and attendance, right? That's a perceived challenge. But I look from a lens, how can I make this happen with this child who may be hungry, who may live in a homeless shelter, whose parents are absent. We graduated a student last year who mama didn't even know she was coming to school.
Right. That's sad.
It's sad.
Right.
And she would come to school, get her, and she was graduating, knowing that we operated pretty much as the parent. So I try not to allow challenges to interfere with the mission. So if I can circumvent it, if I can get with somebody else to help in some areas, we have even taken work down there to the jail. Right. While they down here, they need to be doing their work. If they can't get in the computer, we'll do a packet. And my person go down there to the police people, get my work, and we come back here. I've had students graduate and they were in the jail the whole semester.
Wow.
So what are you willing to do if you're about the mission?
Right. Keep the main thing the main thing.
Yes. So I mean, we do it all. I don't look at challenges fuel me. I love challenges. I love for people to say I can't do it. I love for people to say she won't make it. I was an underdog. My children pretty much kind of, because of the things they had going on, perceived to be the underdog. So I love the underdog, and I like to win.
Right. Well, when you empower, that kind of nullifies some of the challenges, because the communication at that point is there, and everyone knows what they need to graduate. You know what track that you're on, and we're gonna hold you accountable to go that direction. So when you empower, especially when you empower the student, if a student could tell you how many classes they need to graduate, what they got to do, and what they got to do to get to this career, of interest that they have, that's a strong thing. And even sometimes it'll overpower when you have absent parents, just that adult issues sometimes that we inherit. If we empower those students to be the leaders of their own graduation,
That's
that
right.
kind of nullifies most of the challenges. Well, all that is well said. And I know you're super busy in the summer and planning, so I'm gonna swiftly move to the next two um, standards, 8 and 9, and they both are really just talking about the rigorous, data-driven digital. One of them is virtual and one of them's in the classroom. So because we kind of do them both, I'll let you kind of combine those and just talk about how do you ensure that the instructional framework that you provide virtually and in person is rigorous enough, to focus on that diverse learning for our students.
Yeah. Well, it helps that I come from a instructional background. And it helps that we have done this work before because GOSA, the governor's office, recognized the work. We've done this work through the SIG. So the work is not new. So you can have the expectation of the standards, the rigor of the standards, the whole UDL design, unpacking the rigor, the plan, do, check, act. You can have it at a whole group level. You can have it at a small group level. You can have it at an individual level on Canvas or on Canvas or whatever digital platform. But the goal is the same. And the goal is to make sure the students are proficient in their academics and that they can read and they can write. So and that goes back to the personalized learning plan, because the student would have communicated the learning agency, and our teachers are to meet the learning agency of the child. And so we children don't conform to how we want to do things. We conform our strategies to how the student can master. We can introduce new things, but we will conform to the student because they are on different levels. We have, if it's literature, everybody based on their Lexile level will have different levels of literature, but can have the same standard. And so when I got here, there was really no expectation of quality instruction. I'm just going to be very honest. So the framework is the same. They have to do a bell ringer, whether it is in their Canvas or whether it's whole group. But that bell ringer, it is in alignment with the state standards. They have to explore. They have to explain, engage, and reflect. So that is the instructional and the success criteria and the learning target. So some students get the pacing guide. Some students is a whole group. Now, what we focus on in terms of the teacher's direct instruction are those milestone courses. Our students are on an A day, B day. For the high school, my middle school, they come all 5 days. But even if they are virtual, we don't operate it truly like we did during COVID, like that total remote. But they do have some remote sessions with the teachers during the day. And then they have the asynchronous work that they have to do. So it's a balance. But everything is based upon the state standards. They're based upon the expectation that COTNIA it wants for digital organizations or non-traditional settings. We use the National Online Teaching Standards and Programming for our virtual school. We developed our platform from Hanover Research that talks about a valuable virtual student. So all of the things that we do here are research based, and we make the concessions, but we do not lower the expectations or the rigor.
Okay. Awesome. Now, what do you, or not even what, how do you, train or create that vision and passion for your teachers to, because I know you can't do it all. And I know you're very passionate, and from what you discovered at Piggly Wiggly on through college and West Side, like how do you now give that to the teachers? Because like I said, most of the people that will probably be in this professional development may have new teachers or may be new to non-traditional, and they are very passionate about helping kids and keeping the main thing. But then as soon as they walk in that building, you got Jimmy and Jane and these people that are not as passionate. So what are some of the things that you have done to train and develop passion in your teachers?
Well, one of the things, it starts with the hiring process, and I typically do not ask a lot of content questions for the hiring process. I ask questions that connect to the behaviors of a person, the character of a person, the will of the person, because I can teach you the skill if you have the will. So it starts there, and I don't hire everybody either just because I need a space. I'll go the whole year with a vacancy if I can't find the right person. Because I'm a teacher first, my assistant principal is a teacher, my leaders are a teacher, I'm math and science. So if we have to step in, we have to step in. So I don't allow the circumstance to communicate that I need to get the wrong person for the job. So it starts there. And I tell my people that they must love people, but they must love children. And if I get a sense that you don't love children and can forgive children, then you cannot work for me. You can work somewhere, but you cannot work for me, right? And so that is where that's what that is. So we do have professional learning, we do have data teams, we have PLCs, we follow the school improvement process to make sure teachers are planning, make sure the classrooms are meeting the expectations. And so that is pretty much kind of what we do. We have a school-wide community establishing the instructional day, establishing the culture, establishing every morning. That is led by our MTSS lead. And then we end the day together. But my staff knows the expectation, and if I love children unconditionally, you should love children unconditionally. And if you cannot, you will not be working here.
I got you. Man, you've really provided a lot of great strategies and nuggets. So what are some future goals for Dr. Danley and the VIP and Soar Academy? And so I know you've accomplished so much, and you're one of those people that you still chasing. All right. So what are some of the goals that you look forward to reaching this school term?
Well, one of the goals, we did just, we got awarded for the third time the Youth Bill grant. And that's that $1.5 million for 16 to 25-year-old opportunity youth. So I want to take that academy to a more college and career level. And so we are redesigning how we do things in that Youth Build Academy, because it does not need to mirror like a school setting, because these students and young adults are older. That's the first thing. We're focusing on a few things well this year. I want to dig a little deeper into the executive functioning skills, that personalized learning, getting my teachers have all been endorsed with personalized learning. The virtual teachers have already been endorsed with online teaching. So with those two professional learnings that they got last year, now we're going to put it in practice. We want to put it in practice application. So we will be focusing on those things through our walkthroughs, in our supports, reading, the science of reading and literacy in the content is a priority. So those are the big threes here that we will be focused on and expect to see some results. Those milestone scores have got to come up. We run a great culture. We are distinguished in our PBIS and the culture. Great. Ha ha. Yeah, 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 yeah. But the children got to perform. And people only invest in your school if you have good data. And so that is where I am. The other thing is being an ambassador for alternative schooling, changing the mindset of people, the community, the state, the nation. Really, really getting people to understand that this is the new normal. This is 21st century education. COVID showed them that for whatever reason, they went right back into the traditional setting. But this is the future. We are the future. And so we have to be the voice of that. And so that is my goal as well.
That is completely awesome. So if I am a new administrator, or if I'm just a curious person that want to learn more about you and your school, how can I reach out? How can I find you?
Oh, well, we are located in Macon, Georgia, and we Bibb County Public Schools, 2011 Riverside Drive. We always have people come in to observe, do a walkthrough, and we sit down and have a conversation. I have partnered with several school districts on the things that we do here at Soar Academy and VIP Academy. My phone number to my office is 478-779-4802 for Soar Academy, and it's extension 4872 for VIP Academy, which is our full-time virtual option. My email is julia.daniely at bcsdk12.net. And you can reach me in any of those forms. I would even give you my cell number, 478-973-7116. And you can reach me on my cell. I'm here to assist. I'm here to help. And I want to see all the students, not only in our community, state, but in the nation, reaching the pinnacle of their success. I am sold out to this work. This is mission work for me. This is evangelism for me. And so that's what the passion comes from. And that's what drives me every day.
I could be a witness, and I could tell everyone that's watching or listening, however you're involved, this is her. Every time I've ever talked to her, every time I've seen her, this is her. So this is not just a front. She's not acting. This is who she is, Sunday to Sunday. Off the clock, on the clock. She is always Doc. I just call her Doc. So Doc is always Doc. She's always this passionate. She's always this willing to help. So if you need help on those graduation plans, if you need help with just trying to create the rigorous in that instructional framework, please reach out to her. I'll also put her information in the notes, but reach out to her. And Doc, again, man, it was a super privilege for me to sit here and listen to all these great things that you're doing at that school. I know I've been there. Like I said, it's great. And I know it's some more great things coming. So I really anticipate and look forward to all the wonderful things that I'm going to witness you doing here in the future. I know I'm going to see you at the conference this year in Savannah. We gonna do well. I'm sure you probably presenting there too. So I just want to say thank you again for investing in this professional development. Do you have any closing remarks?
No, I don't have anything formal, but I do want to encourage anyone who's working in alternative education that um, you are here to serve. You're here to serve. It's not about you. It's about the children we serve, and it's about the families we serve. And when you operate from a heart of servitude, you will get the results. So just think about that as you are leading your schools, as you are teaching the children. You lead the school like you will lead your own children. You teach those children like you would teach your own children. And when you do that, then you know you're always doing the right thing.
Oh man, that is a closing remark. That's nothing else that we need to say after that. I think you've closed it out pretty good. Well, again, Doc, this concludes our interview. I hope everyone enjoyed and got some information. So we'll see you soon.
Okay, thank you.
Bye bye.